You are now watching Surveillance. Donate or subscribe for more sick twists.
Alright guys, today we're doing a log review. Let me just put some music on in the background. Some non-copyright music. Okay, alright, so turn this down just a little bit more. So today we're doing some log reviews. I think we have 3 log reviews to do today, and basically these guys are either my patrons or they sent me $10 to analyze their logs. So if you want your logs analyzed, just get a hold of me on Discord or subscribe to my Patreon $10 tier, and you get a log review with that. So we've got 3 log reviews to get through today for Ret Pally. Let's take a look and see how good they seal twist, and see if there's anything we can offer them in terms of improvement. So first player we're gonna analyze today is the Martyr. This guy's been a patron of mine for a while, a couple months now, and we've been talking a little bit. He's currently about average. Best performing average is like 50, which is about average. 50th percentile obviously is exact center. And SSCTK, I think he did a little bit better, 53.3. Okay, so we're gonna start with Hyjal, because his guild's cleared all of Hyjal. So we'll start with Rage Winter Chill. Looks like their best Rage Winter Chill is 241, and I'll pull up my logs here for a comparison. And remember, this is a we don't judge here on the serve stream. People play WoW at all different types of skill levels. They put different amounts of time in, and some people are held back more or less by their guilds. So the point of the log review is not to judge people or tell people they're bad. It's to give them anything we can to help them improve their situation and make them do more damage. So these are my logs so far for Hyjal and BT, and we'll compare Rage Winter Chill. Mostly just the fight length. So 140 is our fastest Rage Winter Chill, and this one was 241, so it's about a minute slower. Obviously, speed is a huge impact on parse, how fast your guild kills the boss. It's one of the biggest factors, actually. But looks like he did pretty good for the raid that he's in. Like, it looks like his warlocks are doing really bad, gray parses, and he's got 4 arcane mages with green parses. So considering he's in this kind of raid with a kind of a griefed comp, I would say this is pretty good. I mean, a 69, that's really good with a raid like this. So just, first thing I noticed, looks like he's performing pretty well for his guild. Interesting to see a Feral on top. This guy must be really good. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is we'll get debuff uptime. Obviously, debuff uptime is like a huge portion of your damage is just the debuff uptime. So Curse of Wreck is up most of the time, Elements is up, Crusader is up, Wisdom's up. Expose Armor kind of fell off at the end there a little bit, and took a little bit to get up, but pretty average, I'd say. Looks good for the most part. And Fairy Fire Feral, but we have improved Fairy Fire up here. So all the debuff uptime looks really good. No problems here. Now let's take a look at casts. So casts gives you a good idea of what you're prioritizing in terms of like spells, GCDs. And right off the bat, it looks alright. Now I know this is going to be a little bit lower than a normal boss because Rage Winter Chill, there's like a little bit of downtime at the start. That's going to dilute the cast per minute a little bit. But this looks pretty good. Crusader Strike 6.3, I usually like to see that about 7 or 8, but then again it's Rage and there's that little bit of downtime at the start, so that could be why. Seal of Command, Seal of Blood are up there above 9, which is ideal. Like to see it above 10, but once again that might be just because of the downtime at the start of the fight. So this looks pretty good here. I think cast looks pretty ideal. Take a look at damage done. So 1 Hammer of Wrath at the end. We've got 2 Judgments of Command. One's a max rank 6. I'm not sure why he's judging a rank 6 command or a rank 1 command. I mean, obviously this can happen accidentally sometimes when you are twisting and it's really tight. You can actually have some issues where you judge command by accident, but you can actually fix this by just putting /CQS in front of your Seal of Command macro. So when this goes up on YouTube, I'll put that macro in the description, and I'll post it in the chat right now, actually. Now, obviously, shouldn't be using max rank command ever, so it's interesting to see a rank 6 judge of command here. Not sure why that's there. And then 1 exorcism, I would have liked to see a couple more, especially with a 3-minute fight. So this fight's pretty long, 3 minutes. I would have liked to have seen a couple more exorcisms, less consecrates and more exorcisms. Got 4 consecrates, but only 1 exorcism. Definitely a couple of those consecrates could have been exorcism instead, and exorcism is just going to do more damage. So we have 58 melee hits, 18 command hits, and only 38 Seal of Blood hits. Do we have pets on? Okay, so there's no chicken here. That macro, it stops you from accidentally judging Seal of Command. It will not, all it does is it prevents you from accidentally judging Seal of Command when you're twisting. Because it'll cancel any queued spell. So if you have Judgment queued up and it can't go off yet, but it's on the spell queue, when you press Seal of Command, it won't queue, it'll unqueue it, so you won't judge after Seal of Command gets cast. So this rank 6 Judgment is a little weird. Want to see more exorcisms. Could trade some of these consecrates for exorcisms. Now in terms of melees, 58 melee hits, 18 command hits. So you add these together and you got 66, 76 possible Seal of Blood hits, but there's only 38 here. So there should be a lot more Seal of Blood damage. Almost double. Only about half of the auto attacks and Seal of Command hits actually have a blood proc. So that tells me that either autoing in command or autoing without a seal on, or missing a twist, being late on a twist, which is the same as autoing in command. So definitely something to take a look at there. In terms of, it looks like twist efficiency might be a little low because of that. Probably autoing in command. I would guess with this many command hits that he's autoing in command occasionally. So if we look at the cast timeline, let's see, command. So he starts out with the Judge of Crusader, command. He twists into blood, command. He's auto. Okay, so this is weird. So he's going, after he twists here, he's going into command again, and then Crusader striking, and letting his auto attack go off with command up. And then he commands again, and then twists blood, and then CS's. Now, obviously he should be in blood here. Instead of command, he should be in blood before he CS's. So when he twists into blood here, right here, he needs to just stay in blood, CS, auto attack, and then judge and go command. Well, he can still have this consecrate here, that's fine, although it should be an exorcism. But so he's twisting into blood, he should CS, exorcism, auto attack, and then judge, put up command before this judge, or before this, he should judge before this command. And so then it looks like he's twisting into blood here. He's CSing like he should. Although it looks like he's judging in the filler window here, which is not ideal. So it looks like he's twisting into blood. He auto attacks that twist. He Crusader strikes. And then he's going judgment after the Crusader strike. This looks like it's before. Although it doesn't show me the melees. I wish I could plot melee on here as well. Can we do that? No, we cannot do that. Okay. Oh, we can do that. Okay, there we go. So he's twisting into blood here. Looks like it's at the right time. Yep. And then Crusader Strike. This should be an exorcism. He should not have cast this command here. He should have stayed in blood. Exorcism. Melee should be with blood up, but it's with command. And then he commands again for some reason. Instead, if he didn't have this command here, he would twist here and be in blood, and then he CS, exorcism, auto with blood, judge, command. And so then he twists again here, and then he's Crusader striking, and he hasn't autoed yet, but he's still judging. Now you shouldn't judge after a CS. This is the filler window. Right after you melee and then CS, you have this is called the filler window. You don't want to really judge here. I mean, you can rarely, if Crusade or Consecrate and Exorcism are both on cooldown, then you could do that. But you really don't want to do that most of the time, because you usually have like a filler that you can do that's going to be better DPS. And then he puts command back up. So it seems to me that he's under the mistaken impression that he wants to be in command when he's not twisting. When in reality, I think he wants to be in blood. I mean, blood is going to be a lot more damage, especially when you get a Wind Fury proc, because you'll get 2. So he's doing a filler judge here. This should be an exorcism instead, or a consecrate, or just nothing. And then he's going into command again, which is not ideal. He wants to stay in blood and not judge. So after this CS, he should just avoid judge and command and just let the auto go through. You can still exorcism here if you want. But you let the auto go through with blood up. It looks like you got a proc here, and then you judge if you have it on off cooldown. This is where you would judge after the auto attack before you go into a twist. So he would judge here, command, blood, twist. So yeah. Looks like this twist was a little bit late, I think. He cast blood at the exact moment that the auto went off. It might not have been too late, but I think it was too late. So it looks like it was too late, but I can't tell for sure. Because this is when the Seal of Command goes off here, which is a little bit before the auto. I think this is a little late. And so after this twist, you would CS. If you had it, you would CS. If you don't have CS right away, you would go into another twist. So I think he's probably a little bit hasted here. He's popping wings. He's probably got Bloodlust up. Yeah, he does. So if your CS is this late, you can see it's like 2 seconds late. out from the auto. So when this auto starts, he's got 2-second cooldown on Crusader Strike, I'm assuming. Or maybe he doesn't, because when was the last one? 28 seconds, so 34, this is the, okay, so his CS was late. So he CS'd here at 28 seconds, he could CS again at 34 seconds right here. But after this twist, let's see, this is at 33, so 34.5, 34.6 is when he should be able to CS, which is like right here. So the CS is a little bit late, probably because he popped wings, but you want to get that CS off first, and then pop wings after that CS is on cooldown, because you're just going to auto attack and you have a filler window with no GCD. So if this, you could put the CS here, and then you could put the wings over here, so that the wings is after the CS, and that would be a lot better. So then he's autoing, he's got blood up, he's autoing, and then he's consecrating. This is an awkward play. Shouldn't consecrate here, but the reason why you probably had to is because, well, he didn't actually have to. No, he had enough time in between swings. He could have, it's like 2.1, 2.2 seconds. Could have done a twist instead, I think. 35, 37, or 36.7 is when he's able to cast his command, so 36.7, and then you cast command at 36.7, and then, okay, I guess he didn't have enough time to twist. So this is another reason why this Crusader Strike was a misplay, because you cast this Crusader Strike late because he put wings up. He should have CS'd earlier and then wingsed after, because you'll see here that wings, first of all, wings is off the global cooldown, but it cannot be cast while you're on the global cooldown. So like, it doesn't cause a global cooldown, but you can't cast it when you're currently in a global cooldown. So if you CS first and then wings after, then you would actually be able to twist on this auto attack, because this wouldn't incur a GCD and your CS would be earlier. So the GCD would be over right around the time of the auto, and you'd be able to twist here instead of being stuck with a consecrate. You'd actually have a twist instead of just a consecrate. So, and then he autos in command, not good. I don't know how he's in command, because he casts blood here. Maybe he cast command after the auto attack. I see. Because this is the one that's actually like a melee attack. Okay, makes sense. Sorry, I'm still a little bit new at playing around with the cast timeline. So he twists here. He's got lust. He's moving into a lust rotation. He twists. He gets a command proc. He goes blood. I don't know why he's going blood. So don't need to cast blood here because you're in command and you twist into blood. Don't need to cast blood again. Instead, you just want to CS. Your CS could be right here, but instead it's a blood for whatever reason. So twist right here. This auto attack, you're twisting, and then this could be a CS instead of a blood. There's no reason to cast blood here. You're already in blood. This is just a seal command proc, so not the seal itself. So this is a twisted auto. So you want CS here, and then you don't need to cast blood again. You're already in blood, and then you could put an exorcism here. But you're in lust, so you probably don't have time to do exorcism. You just have time for one global cooldown. So like a common theme with this timeline that I'm seeing is that could be casting a lot of your CSs a little bit earlier, and they're getting delayed, and you're kind of like playing a little wishy-washy with your seals. So you're like going into command when you don't have to, you're going into blood when you shouldn't, stuff like that. So the CS could be earlier and then auto, and then you go into a twist. Now you judged here, that's good, but it's a little bit too late because you can't twist this auto anymore. You needed the CS to be a little earlier so that you could judge here and then twist this auto. As you can see, it looks like you still tried to, but you were late. So you judged, you go into command, and then you were late on the blood, so you missed a twist. And that's because your CS was too late here, and you still tried to go for it anyway. You could have done like a stop attack to do this, but I don't recommend doing that. It's kind of a bad habit. So then you're back into blood. You missed this twist because it was late. And then the other problem is that you were late on the twist, and you still cast the blood anyway, even though it was too late. And so now this ruined the next twist too. So if you saw that you were late on the twist, okay, you just let it ride with command, right? Like, all right, I'm late on this twist. I'm not gonna try to go for it because I know I can't make it. I'm just gonna let command ride. So you let command ride, and then you could have had blood here and twisted. Instead, this one's gonna be too late as well, I believe. It looks like it is. Well, maybe it's not. No, it is. It is too late. So then you go into another twist, and that one goes off perfectly fine. CS, and then you're judging here. You shouldn't judge here. You should exorcism. So you just cast Crusader Strike. You don't want to be looking to cast Judgment. You want to be looking to cast Exorcism or Consecrate instead. Save the Judgment for after this auto attack. Like you did it properly back here. You were trying to judge before a twist. That's how you want to do it. You judge before a twist, not after a CS. Okay, so, you know, CS into this judge should be an exorcism instead of consecrate. Command is up, not even blood. You need to have blood up for this auto attack. I'm not really sure why you have command up. It looks like you cast it right before the auto attack. If I'm not, yeah. So you Crusader Striked, you judged blood, and then you put command up, but you want to put blood up. Anytime you're not twisting, you want to be in blood, like I was saying earlier. So it looks like common issues that I'm seeing are your Crusader Strike is being delayed too much. You could be doing it earlier, but instead you're playing around with your GCDs to like wings or cast a seal that you don't need, or to try to judge in your filler window. You don't want to judge after Crusader Strike. You want to wait until that auto attack goes through and then judge after and go into a twist. Anytime you're not twisting, you want to be in Seal of Blood. And you want to exorcism before you consecrate if possible. That's pretty much most of what's causing issues here on this fight in particular, from what I can tell. That looks like to be the biggest issue with your rotation. Also, this haste pot should have been earlier. You should have popped that haste potion when you had wings up. When you popped wings, you should have popped the haste potion too. So back here, instead you waited until Lust was over, which you should not do. I know it's hard to like twist with a lot of haste, but even if you screw it up, it's still better to use haste potion when you have wings up. Even if you screw it up, it's still better. It just takes a little bit of practice though. It's really not that hard. So that's like the most common issues. Like I said, 1, Seal of Blood instead of Seal of Command. 2, Exorcism instead of Consecrate. 3, you're judging at the wrong time. You're judging after CS, but you should be judging before a twist. At the beginning of an auto attack, right before you go into command for a twist, you should be judging blood. And then also, I think you're using rank 6 Seal of Command. I'm not sure why. You need to be using rank 1. You are using rank 1 up here, but you're also using rank 6 down here. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if that's because of your judgment or what, but you need to not ever use rank 6. Like, you should just take rank 6 off your bars. There's no reason to have it. Like, literally no reason to have it, so. That's it for the cast timeline. That pretty much tells us most of what we need to know. Check mana. It looks like you went out of mana pretty well before the end of the fight. You need to, first of all, consecrate. You're doing that more than exorcism, and that's going to cost you a lot more mana for a lot less damage. So you want to exorcism when you can instead of consecrate. Also, you need to get rid of using this rank 6 command. That's costing you a ton of mana. Using max rank command, you need to be using rank 1 command. That's going to save you a lot of mana overall. And then it looks like you had Judgment of Wisdom, a Judge macro with rank 1. Yeah, but you still shouldn't do that, you know? It's still bad. That could be why. Like Judge, and then maybe it's a macro that's like Judge and then cast command. and it's casting rank 6 by accident because he didn't specify the rank. But you still don't want to be doing that. It's still going to cost you damage and mana. So this looks pretty good. Mana Spring. You might have been able to get a little bit more mana from Mana Spring. I'm not sure what the uptime was on that. Let's take a look at your buffs. Uptime on your buffs. Battle Shout, 97%. Looks pretty good to me. Wind Fury attack. There's some gaps here, but I can't really tell if these are like bad gaps or if this is just RNG, like being unlucky. There are some gaps though. Like at the beginning, it looks like you had a little bit of time at the beginning where you didn't have it up. Looks like you might have had some time here in the middle where you didn't have it up, but I can't tell if you were just, these are periods of time where you were unlucky or not. I can't really tell. It does look like you might need to take a look at your Wind Fury uptime though. Like you might want to take a look at your buffs while you're raiding and see if it's dropping. Sometimes when enhancement shamans like twist, they do it a little bit too late and they end up dropping Wind Fury for a little bit, and that's bad. You want to have 100% Wind Fury uptime and like a little bit less than 100% Agi, Grace of Air uptime. So all the buffs look good. Battle Shout stayed up, and you know, Unleashed Rage was up 90% of the time. Got the BM buff too, so no issues here. Looks like you get a pretty good group, Feral and a BM, and Enhance and a Fury. That's like the dream group, so you should be able to do a lot of damage. Obviously you don't, I don't know, well maybe it's not obvious, but Major Agility Elixir is actually going to be a little bit better than Major Strength. They're pretty close, but you're still going to want to use Major Agility mostly, because it is a little bit more damage. Alright, so that probably wraps it up for Rage. We can go to like Anatheron now. Take a look at debuffs. Well, first take a look at the, let's see what gear you're using. Crystal Forged Shoulders, interesting. First thing I'm noticing is you might be a little bit over the hit cap. 88. Do you have a boomkin? I can't remember. You do have Fairy Fire on the boss, but I don't remember if it's improved or not. You do have a boomkin, so you have too much hit rating. You need only 48, not got 88 hit rating and you only need 48. You could drop some of this hit gear, like Ring of 1,000 Marks. You could replace this with like a Black Temple Trash Ring, or a Ancestral Ring of Conquest, or a Exalted Hyjal Ring, or any number of rings. You could replace this. You could drop some hit with that. You could drop some hit from your bracers. If you make the Black Temple crafted bracers, that would be a big upgrade and you'd be able to drop some hit. So those two items I would say you want to replace and get something without hit. You can make the Black Temple bracers pretty cheap now, especially if your guild is able to give you a couple of Hearts of Darkness. So you could get rid of this ring and these bracers, and then you could get some more damage out with it while staying hit capped. So 235 kill, and mine was a 129, so it looks like a little bit of a slow kill again, about an extra minute added on, but that's not terrible. That's about probably average. Let's take a look at cast per minute. A lot lower this time. I'm not sure if that's because of some downtime at the start of the fight. It looks like there's only about 15 seconds of downtime at the start, but that's still gonna weigh down. That's gonna dilute the CPM a little bit. But we'll take a look at the cast timeline then, and we'll see. It does look a bit low though, especially like Crusader Strike and Seals look pretty low in terms of casts. Probably was a good bit of downtime at the start of the fight that affected that a bit. So debuffs on the boss. Curse of Wreck is up, Elements is up, Crusader's up, Fairy Fire is up. Looks like it dropped for just a second. Expose Armor's up. Really good uptime on Expose Armor there. Wisdom is not up for the first half of the fight. That's no bueno. Looks like somebody was using light and then they realized that they needed to swap to wisdom and did that at the end or halfway through. So definitely not ideal. Hopefully nobody went because of it. Check your mana. Oops. Looks like you're about going near the end of the fight. So obviously you want to yell at whatever paladin is supposed to be doing Judgment of Wisdom, because it's kind of their fault that you had to mana pot here. And you should have Dark Runed though first. Should have used a Dark Rune before using a mana pot. Used a lot of mana here. Looks like, let's see, is it rank 6 command again? Maybe not. Cast Timeline. Well, we'll take a look at buffs first. Battle Shout's up. UR's up. Looks good. Wind Fury looks pretty decent. These could be windows where you're just getting unlucky. They could also be windows where the totem's dropping for a little bit of time. So I'd be careful and I'd double check that. Alright, Cast Timeline. Demon Slaying, good. So it looks like there's about 12 seconds of downtime at the start, which can be diluting your cast per minute a little bit at least. I still think they're a bit low though. I'm not sure why you auto here without a seal up. You do it twice actually, so you judge Crusader and then you auto, but you don't have a seal up, and you auto again without a seal up. You should judge Crusader and then put up Commander Blood and auto and then twist, or just start with a twist. So you judge Crusader while you're waiting for threat, because remember, Crusader Judge only does about 100 threat. So you judge Crusader, you stop attack, you press Seal of Command macro, and then you instant twist with the instant twist Seal of Blood start attack macro. So this could be an insta twist, and then this could also be a sealed hit, but for some reason it's naked hit, which is really bad. And then you CS, but the CS is a bit late. It could be earlier. I mean, this is 16.7, this is 15. You have no GCDs at all here. I mean, this Crusader Strike could have been way back here, right? Like, you could have judged Crusader, and then did a Seal of Command here, and insta twist, and then you could have CS'd right after. So a lot of lost damage there. Casting Seal of Command right before. Interesting play. So obviously this Crusader Strike, you cast it before you even put a seal up, which is interesting. I mean, you should have just been in a seal already, and then I don't know why you're putting command up here. Once again, I think you're under the mistaken impression that you want to be in command, but you actually want to be in blood. Anytime you're just autoing and not twisting, you want to be in blood. So you need to have casted blood somewhere back here. Like when you start attacking the boss, you want to have a seal up no matter what. And there's two ways to start the boss. Either, like I said before, where you judge Crusader, put up Seal of Command, stop attack, and then start with an instant twist. And this is really good, especially if you're waiting for threat at the start. But what you can also do is judge Crusader, and then put up Seal of Command, and then just start attacking. And then you CS, and then you twist at the end of the auto. And they're both about the same damage-wise. You can do either one. But you have two autos here. This is two Seal of Blood hits that you could have had. And you also lost like almost an entire Crusader Strike because you could have Crusader Striked all the way back here. And then this Seal of Command hit should have been a blood hit, and if you got a Wind Fury, it could have been a double blood hit. So you're in command, and then you twist here, you CS, and then you're judging here. Once again, this is something I'm noticing with, between this and the last fight. You don't want to judge here after your Crusader Strike. You want to Exorcism or Consecrate. You want to wait until this auto attack goes through to judge. And you're also putting Seal of Command back up, which you shouldn't be doing. You should be using Blood. So you're in Blood here. You Crusader Strike. This should be Exorcism. Auto attack in Blood. And then judge. And then Command. And then twist. And also you're still using rank 6 Seal of Command. I'm not sure why. Looks like you recasted it here twice in a row. So you're spending a lot of your own mana that you don't have to be. Like, you judged, you put up Seal of Command, max rank for no reason really, because it doesn't give you any extra damage. You auto attacked with that max rank command, and you still have it up, and then you cast it again. And I'm not sure why you cast it a second time. You're kind of just wasting mana. But this should be Blood anyway. Like, you shouldn't really ever judge here in the filler window after a Crusader Strike. But if you do, I mean, rarely it can be good if you don't have a filler on cooldown, off cooldown. If you do judge here, you want to put Blood up, not Command. So then you're in Command, and then you twist into Blood. So that's good, and then you CS. Still looking good so far. So this is what now you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. This is it. This is what you should be doing right here up to this point. These three auto attacks here, like these are in between this auto and this auto. That's what you should be doing, right? You're in Command, although it should not be rank 6, it should be rank 1. I mean, that's a lot of mana. So you're in Command. Presumably you judge right before this command. After this auto attack, you would judge here and then command. But then you twist into Blood, good. You auto attack and you get a Wind Fury, good. Then you Crusader Strike, perfect. And then you Exorcism, perfect. And then you auto attack. Like, this is the ideal rotation that you want to be doing most of the time when you don't have haste effects. This is like, you did it right here. This is what you should be doing. Although you would want to judge here, but you couldn't judge because you had already done it. It was on cooldown. So now this Seal of Blood for this twist was cast at 29.4, and then this Crusader Strike wasn't cast until 31-ish. So that's actually about on time. That's pretty good. Like, yeah, this is what you should be doing anyway. Judge, Seal of Command, auto first, judge, Seal of Command, but not rank 6. Use rank 1 instead. And then twist into Blood, and then auto attack with that twist, Crusader Strike, Exorcism, auto again, and then you shouldn't really consecrate here. You shouldn't have to. You should be able to twist. So you should be twisting instead here. You don't want to give up a twist for just a consecrate, because the consecrate is going to do like no damage compared to a twist. You want to save stuff like Consecrate and Exorcism for after your Crusader Strike, when you have nothing else to do. So you could twist here, and then you also have another auto attack here where you just Healthstone that you could be twisting, or you actually could be Crusader Striking. So it looks like you might have gotten Heroism here, but Exorcism, auto attack, and then instead of Consecrate you twist. And then after this auto attack, you CS, Crusader Strike. And then you can still Healthstone or whatever. Auto attack Anethron, and then Judge, Command. You shouldn't Crusader Strike here, you should have done it back here. And then you should have twisted. So like, and so you want to go into a Blood for a twist. You don't want to auto attack in Command, you want to auto attack in Blood. And I think this is going to be, I mean, it looks like it's a recurring kind of thing. I think it's just that you don't realize that you want to be in Blood when you're not twisting. So I'll pull up one of my videos here. This is a video I did where I go over every rotation. Wait, don't I have timestamps in here? What happened to my timestamps? Okay. So this is the rotation you want to be doing, right? You twist, you Crusader Strike, Consecrate, Auto Attack, Judge, twist again. See, Crusader Strike, and I'm in blood. I'm autoing in blood. Judge, twist, Crusader Strike. So you can see twist, Crusader Strike. I mean, I'll slow it down a little bit for you. So this is the rotation when you don't have any hates. You can see I don't have Bloodlust or anything. So you start with a twist, you Crusader Strike, extra or Consecrate, Judge, Command, twist blood, Crusader Strike again, and you just repeat. Consecrate again, auto attacking in blood, consecrating again, judging if I have time, but I don't have time, and then twisting blood again. You know, that's the rotation. You can also check out this video if you want to take a look at all the rotations. I go through every rotation in this video, so it could help you out. I think this is going to be most of what I'm going to speak about on the Martyr. I'm pretty sure this is going to be like your biggest recurring issue in terms of your performance. Is going to be this couple things I'd already talked about with autoing and seal of command, judging in the filler window instead of judging where you should be, which is after a Crusader, or I'm sorry, before a twist. So those are like the biggest issues, and then a smaller issue would be exorcism instead of consecrate when available. And don't use rank 6 seal of command because you're griefing your own mana like really badly. So we can take a look at another fight, Khazra-Gal, I guess. Now Khazra-Gal, I'm sure you went because not only is this a slower kill, 241, I mean mine was 146. So not only is this a bit of a slower kill, I mean it's not terrible, but I could tell you went just from the fight length. So you did go you probably blew up and died. Yeah, looks like you did. So let's take a look at your casts. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same kind of thing where you're using rank 6 seal of command and that's griefing you. Mana wise, yep, that's really griefing your mana. Autoing in command when you shouldn't be. You're judging max rank seal of command. You should be judging blood. And if you did the rotation using blood when you're not twisting, you would be judging blood. But for some reason you're judging after Crusader Strike and autoing in command, so you're actually ended up judging max rank command, which is a lot less judgment damage. So yeah, I mean it's just this recurring issue, right? It looks like you bubbled the first mark of Khazra-Gal. You shouldn't have to do that even with a kill this slow, but it's not necessarily a bad play. It's just what you want to do is you want to pop wings first, and then you can keep your mana afloat long enough to get forbearance off, and then when that debuff falls off, then you bubble. So, you know, nothing crazy there. It's just this, recurring rotational issue where you're using command and stuff and you shouldn't be, and you're judging at the wrong time, and you could be twisting more too, like right here. Right here, you got this big open melee with nothing going on. You could be twisting there. And you're judging right before your auto attack for some reason, which I don't understand that. So I mean, that's most of what your problem is just those couple things I've been talking about. So let's take a look at some other things. Damage done. You could have been a good bit higher here. You could have been 1500 plus on this fight if you didn't go and if you adjusted your rotation a little bit. Let's check out your casts. Casting rank 6 command how many times? 10 times? That's a lot of mana, bro. That's 2,800. That's 3,000 mana that you wasted on max rank seal of command to do the same amount of damage, actually less damage than you could have been doing. So you spent 3,000 mana, 3k mana. You spent that much mana to do less damage, basically, because you're using rank 6 command. You're using it instead of blood, so you're using it more, and you're judging it. So you're just doing less damage, and you're spending way more mana. So that's pretty much, I mean, it seems like the thing. You know, every fight I'm looking at, it comes down to these rotational issues. I mean, your guild is holding you back a little bit. Like, their debuff uptime is good, and their buff uptime is good. Like, they're doing all the things they should be as support classes. Like, they're debuffing the boss and giving you buffs and stuff. Like, all that stuff looks great, but the kill is still slow because some of these people are doing less damage than they should be. Like, this guy is parsing gray, he's doing 24, 11, 18, 7, 4. These guys are just dead weight. These guys are literally dead weight. They're doing nothing for you. If you had people in these positions doing real damage, then the fight would be a lot shorter. You wouldn't go as fast. Like, you would be able to last more of the fight without going and you would do more damage yourself if they did more damage. So you're kind of being griefed a little bit by your guild because they're really underperforming, especially like these guys. Your mages, your warlocks, your rogue, your boomkin, they're really underperforming, and that's really hurt. You know, if even though you've got these issues with your rotation, you would be parsing a good bit higher if your guild did more damage, even outside of fixing your rotation. So let's see what we got here. Casts, Archimond. So I'm not sure why, but you started with a Crusader Strike. You should start with a Judgment of Crusader. It looks like you didn't judge Crusader at all on this boss. So that's kind of a misplay. I mean, that's going to cost your raid a lot of damage. Obviously, you know you want to judge Crusader. You don't want to judge command. You never want to judge command. So instead of starting with a Crusader Strike and having no seal up, I mean, you don't have a seal up for these two auto attacks. You could have, you know, this could be a Seal of Blood hit, this could be a Seal of Blood hit, or two Seal of Blood hits if you get a Wind Fury. You know, this could be a Seal of Blood hit. You need to get a seal up before you start attacking the boss. Like, right away, you need to get a seal up before you start attacking the boss. So you want to judge Crusader, then you want to put up Seal of Command, and then you want to start hitting the boss. Crusader Strike, and then twist. On that first auto attack, you have command up, you start auto attacking, you Crusader Strike, and then you twist at the end of that auto. And you can also do the instant twist, but this is, you know, that's even easier, right? So you need to work on your opener, because this is the second fight here where you have a couple autos with no seal at all, and that's a big damage loss. Especially considering you want to get Vengeance up as fast as possible. If you don't have a seal up at the start of the fight, you're going to start stacking your Vengeance really slowly, because you're not critting as often as you could be, right? Like, it looks like, you know, this didn't crit, this didn't crit, this didn't crit, this didn't crit. So, like, your vengeance isn't even up until, I mean, you get 1 stack here, you get 2 stacks here, and then, you know, like, 30 seconds into the fight, you still only have 2 stacks of vengeance. You get 3 stacks here, right? So, like, that's why you really want to make sure you have a seal up before you start attacking. It's not just for the seal damage. I mean, that's a lot of it, but you're also taking forever to stack up vengeance. So I think that pretty much covers log reviews for the Martyr. I think we pretty much got to the root of the problem. Just as a reminder, just as a overarching, I'll write it down here so you can see all the, I'll give you the summary. Alright, so the summary of all the issues that you're having. 1, auto and seal of blood, not seal of command. So, number 1, auto and seal of blood, not seal of command when you're not twisting. Blood is going to do a lot more damage. 2, judge before you go into command for a twist. So if you're going to twist, you're going to go into command at the start of the twist, and you're going to go into blood at the end of the twist. Right before you go into command, you need to judge there. If you have it off cooldown, that's when you judge. If you don't have it off cooldown, you just skip the judge. You keep twisting anyway, and you just skip the judge. But if it's available and you do have time to judge, you judge right before you cast Seal of Command. Number 3, Exorcism and Consecrate after a Crusader Strike instead of judge. You don't want to judge after a Crusader Strike. You want to judge before you go into command for a twist. After you Crusader Strike is for Consecrate and Exorcism. If you're going too fast, like if you have Bloodlust and stuff, then you don't use Exorcism or Consecrate at all, because you're going too fast for it to be a thing. So if you have Bloodlust, you just don't use Exorcism or Consecrate at all. Number 4, use rank 1 Seal of Command, never rank 6. Number 5, always judge blood, never judge command, and you always do it before a twist. Number 6, use Exorcism instead of Consecrate when available. Number 7, work on your opener. You judge Crusader, you do it from max range, then you press Seal of Command, rank 1, then you start attacking with a Crusader Strike and twist at the end of the auto attack. You can also start with the what they call the instant twist opener, but either one is fine. It doesn't really matter. They both do about the same damage. but you need to make sure you always have a seal up when you start attacking. Number 8. Always use your haste potion with Avenging Wrath, aka Wings, and your trinket. And that pretty much covers everything. That's pretty much everything I wanted to cover in terms of your personal performance. Obviously, there's other things that you can be doing, like outside of your personal performance. Like you could have a better raid. Like the debuff uptime and buff uptime in your raid is very good, but the people in that raid, not so much. The mages and the warlocks and the rogue and the boomkin are doing not enough damage, and it's really holding everybody back. So that's also going to have a big impact on your ability to parse. If you want to get 90s or 99s, you really just need people in your guild to play a lot better. So, alright, that pretty much covers it for the Martyr. Once again, thanks to the Martyr for asking me to review his logs on stream. I'm always happy to do so. He's been a patron of mine for a couple months, and he's been getting better. He just needs a little bit of an extra, a little bit of extra coaching to get where he wants to be. So I hope this helped you, Martyr. I hope this really helped you get your mind wrapped around the rotation and how to do it properly. If you have any questions, reach out to me. So let's get started with the next log review. Okay, so this is Thatia, Rep Paladin named Thatia. Looks like they're struggling a little bit. Rage Winter Chill. Once again, this is a bit of a slow kill. 324 is quite a bit slower than mine is about half that time. Okay. Sorry, I'm just grabbing a bite to eat. So this is looks like you're struggling quite a bit. Let's take a look at your debuff uptime and stuff first, just to establish that, and then we'll go from there. So debuffs, Thunder Armor's up the whole time, Elements, Recklessness, Fairy Fire, looks good. Crusader dropped at the start and at the end, not good. I'm not sure how that happened. Maybe you got dodged on a Crusader strike or two. Maybe you died, I don't know. That's obviously not ideal. It's a big raid DPS loss. Let's check your buffs. So, no battle. Okay, battle shout barely had it up at all. I would be yelling at my warrior if my battle shout uptime looked like this. I would be screaming at them. Also, Wind Fury, like, it fell off here. I don't know if your shaman died or what, but you barely have any Wind Fury attacks. I mean, only 5 Wind Fury attacks over a 3.5 minute fight. That's really, really bad. It looks like your shaman's probably just not dropping Wind Fury, or they're trying to seal or totem twist, and they're fucking it up. So I would be talking to my shaman about that, making sure that they have Wind Fury down and that it's always down, and if they're gonna totem twist, they actually know what they're doing and not just screwing it up. Damage done. Romulo's poison, huh? What gear are we working with here? Romulus Poison Vial? You need to get rid of that. Do you have a boomkin here? We do. So you don't need that Poison Vial. That's just really bad. Really, really bad. You want to replace Band of Eternity with Shapeshifter Signet. You want to replace this with like Brooch. You want to replace this with like a Hourglass or a Tsunami Talisman or an Abacus. You want to replace this obviously with the Libram from Blood Furnace. You want to replace this with NG Goggles. You have 96 hit, but you have a Boomkin, so you don't need 96 hit. You only need 48. You can drop 3% hit and still be hit capped. You got too much. So, yeah. Damage done, 39 melees and 10 command hits. That's 49 possible Seal of the Martyr hits, and you only had 33, so you could have had 16 more Seal of Blood hits, Seal of the Martyr hits. Looks like you probably autoed in command a couple times or missed a couple twists, and lost 16 bloods worth of damage. Now I'm going to refer to it as Seal of Blood because it's just easier for me. 3 exorcisms. Could have actually had a lot more exorcisms. As you can see, Romulus Poison does like no damage at all, and it's totally garbage, worthless trinket. Especially when you're wasting all the hit. So you could have had like 10 exorcisms on this fight, so definitely want to see more exorcisms. Let's take a look at your cast timeline. Seal of Crusader, you judge it. Let's add melee here. So you judge Crusader, and then you command, and you start attacking. Then you Crusader Strike. Good. And then you twist. Good. Exorcism. No, you shouldn't Exorcism here. You should go into another twist instead. You just do another twist. And then you auto. Good. Judge. Good. Command. Good. But you missed this twist here. You're a little bit too late. You had time to hit the twist, but for some reason you missed it. So you shouldn't have autoed in command here. You should have had this Seal of the Blood cast. Seal of the Martyr cast should have been a second earlier, so that you could have twisted on it. And then you Crusader Strike here instead, because it'll be off cooldown now, right? You do it at 18 seconds, it's back up at 24, which is right here. So you could have twisted here and then Crusader Strike here, and that would have been better. And then it looks like you're trying to twist again, and you do so. Good. Twist again. So you're just twisting every auto attack here, which is not like, no wonder Judgment dropped, because you didn't Crusader Strike for, what was that, 40 seconds? Yeah, 50 seconds. You almost went a whole minute without pressing Crusader Strike once. And like, you are twisting well. I mean, well, this one's a little bit early. You twisted too early here, but this one was just barely late enough. This one was too early. No, this one was good. Good. But you're twisting way too often. Like I went over this with the Martyr in his log review, but we'll go over it again. This is the rotation you want to be doing. You twist, and then you Crusader Strike, and then you filler, and then you twist again after a judge. And you go back and forth. Twist, Crusader Strike. Twist, Crusader Strike. Twist, Crusader Strike. Every other auto attack, alternating. Twist, Crusader Strike. Twist, Crusader Strike. Here you can see it written down right here, right? You CS, auto, twist, auto. Boom. Done. That's the rotation you want to be doing. You're twisting way too much and you're losing damage for it. Because a Crusader Strike, believe it or not, actually does more damage than an attempted twist. So and not only that, I mean, like, not only are you losing damage, but you're letting the judgments on the boss drop, right? So on the boss, if you look at their debuffs, you just judged Crusader and you let it drop, basically. Like, the only reason Crusader stayed up is because you personally are auto-attacking and refreshing it. The only reason Wisdom stayed up is because the Prop Paladin is auto-attacking and refreshing it, right? But, like, if the Prop Paladin was off-tanking something, then Seal of Wisdom or Judgment of Wisdom would have fell off because you didn't Crusader Strike it on to keep it on. So you're losing damage and you're also letting your judgment drop. Like, it dropped here and it dropped back here. Let's take a look at your mana. Looks like you died at 233. Probably got killed by an ice bolt or something. Judgment of Wisdom, Mana Spring. Okay. Looks like you spent a lot of mana, but looks like you're spending mana pretty fast. I'm not sure how. Let's see. Rank 1, Seal of Command. How are you losing so much mana? I mean, I usually don't lose mana this fast. It's pretty quick to lose a lot of mana. Mana Spring. Probably should have got more mana from Mana Spring. It probably fell off a little bit. Not perfect uptime. Need to pop a Dark Rune though. Definitely need to pop a Dark Rune. Maybe it has something to do with... Oh, I know why you lost so much mana. Because you're twisting every auto attack. That's what's making you go so fast. Duh. I'm sitting here like, wait, why is he going so fast? No wonder you're going so fast. You're twisting every auto. Don't want to be doing that. So we'll go back to cast timeline. Like here, you're twisting every auto. It looks like you're hitting almost every twist. Almost every twist. This one, you missed this one here. This one was close. Almost missed it. You're also not judging. So you're twisting every auto attack, but you're not judging. You should be judging before a twist whenever it's available. And so as a result, you don't even have the Libram, do you? Yeah, you don't. But you want to get that Libram. You know which Libram I'm talking about, right? The one from Blood Furnace? Every time you judge, it gives you, like, some crit. I mean, you're also just losing damage by not judging more. But, like I said with the Martyr, you generally want to judge before a twist, before you cast Seal of Command for a twist. You want to judge right before. You want to judge blood right before you cast Seal of Command for a twist. I think you probably know this. Anytime it's off cooldown, it looks like you're probably just you got your tunnel vision on twisting, and you're not judging because you're just focused on twisting. When you should be alternating between Crusader Strike and Twist, and judging before that twist most of the time. So, I mean, you have this Libram. Not only do you not have you don't have the Blood Furnace Libram, you have this Crusader Strike Libram, but you don't even cast Crusader Strike, like, ever. You didn't even cast it for a whole minute here, so... And then you had to redo Crusader here, which sucks because you let it drop. Probably, or somebody else had judged it, maybe, and it dropped. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, you're hitting most of your twists, which is good, but you're twisting way too much, and it's costing you a lot of mana. You should be judging more before the twists. You should be judging anytime it's available, right before you do a twist, like in between here, between the auto and the command. And you should be Crusader Striking more. You're losing damage by not Crusader Striking more. So, like, like here you did it properly, where you Crusader Strike, then you have time for an Exorcism here, then you auto attack, and then you judge, then you command, and then you twist, right? Like that's this window here between this and this window right here. I mean, this is proper. This is how you should be using the rotation when you don't have a big like Bloodlust or anything, right? So I don't see a haste potion here. I don't see Avenging Wrath, but you bubbled at 90 seconds. I guess you got ice bolted, and maybe that's why you bubbled. And then you have a big window of time here where you didn't do anything. Maybe you had threat. I don't know. I mean, you had a big, like, what is this, 20 seconds where you didn't attack or do anything. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but that's kind of weird. You could have got a couple more exorcisms in. If you weren't so focused on twisting every single auto attack, you could have Crusader Striked and exorcismed a lot more often. Got more damage with that. You had this big window of 20 seconds of downtime. Not sure why. You judge here. You rejudge Crusader because you stopped attacking for some reason. And then you go in again. You start a command. You CS. You twist. Good. And then you don't do anything on this auto attack. That's a weird misplay. I mean, you don't have it. You could have twisted here. You couldn't CS. You can't CS because you just CS. So you could have twisted here. You CS again. You judged here, but I don't know why. You should have exorcismed instead. Then you have a huge gap between these two auto attacks. The boss must have like moved or something, and you were out of range, I guess. But you would want to exorcism here instead. You don't want to judge after Crusader Strike before the end of the auto attack. You want to judge at the beginning of an auto attack right before you twist. So you have another CS here. See, you judged here, but you didn't put a new seal back up. So after this judge, you don't have another seal up. You're autoing twice without a seal on. And then you do it again here because you judge Crusader again. I don't know why. I guess because it's falling off or something. And then you judge Crusader, and then you auto attack. It looks like you got off command just in the nick of time to auto attack with command up. But it should have been blood instead of command, if anything. But you have these two naked hits here with no seal. You want to make sure you have a seal up when you auto attack, obviously. And then you Crusader Strike and Exorcism. Good. I mean, that's what you want to be doing. You wanna Crusader Strike and then Exorcism, but you would have wanted blood up instead of command here. So you're ideally this would be a twist, and then you CS, Exorcism, auto attack, twist again, judge, twist. So, and then you're putting blood up for this auto attack. This is also another wasted opportunity. You could have twisted here. I don't know why you didn't. You just kind of let it ride and put blood back up, and then you Crusader Strike, judge. Once again, you don't want to be judging after Crusader Strike. You want to do it later on, right here, before you go for a twist. So Yeah, not sure about that. Looks like you put up command right before this auto, and I'm not sure why. You want to be autoing in blood, not command. So I'm not sure why you put command up before this auto instead of blood. I mean, if you're going to judge here, at least put blood back up. But you really shouldn't be judging here at all. You should be exorcism or consecrate instead. And then you auto with blood up, and then you judge, and then you twist. So then you CS again, and then you're making this mistake again where you judge after CS, and then command for some reason. But this should be blood instead. And you shouldn't judge here. You should be exorcism or consecrate or nothing. And then you die. So then you and then you CS. You have so we'll start writing the summary a while. Okay, so let's take a look at another boss. Let's pick Anatheron. Judge Crusader, command, auto attack. Looks like there's quite a bit of downtime at the start here, but that's, I mean, it's not a big deal. It's Hydral. Okay, so you get a Wind Fury proc here. So you swing twice, but you didn't have blood up, you had command up. So that's kind of unfortunate because if you had blood up, you would have got 2 blood hits. And it would have been actually more damage than this command proc. So you start attacking, you CS, you twist, you judge, you command, you twist, good. You CS, good. You could exorcism here. You could exorcism right here, but you popped wings instead. Popped wings with your trinket. You should be popping a haste potion too. So you don't. It's good to pop trinket with wings, but you also should pop a haste potion. And then you melee. I'm not sure why you judge here. You should have just done a normal twist. So you should have judged at the start, kind of earlier, and then done command earlier, and then twisted into this. It looks like you were a little bit too late at doing so. And then CS, good. And then you twist, good, because you're still in command from back here, so it's a good recovery. And then you twist again, good. You could have judged here, I think. Well, maybe it was tight. It would have been tight, but you might have been able to judge there. Could have judged here before this twist, but you twist, so that's good. You should have judged, but that's fine. Only a little bit of a damage loss there. So you twist again. This is really close. Almost twisted too early. It was really close, but you almost did it too early. So you're also not CSing enough. You're getting into this thing again where you're in Bloodlust and you're not hitting strike anymore. So when you're in Bloodlust, I'll show you. There's what's called the 2-3 rotation, where you twist twice and then CS. So it's like CS, twist, twist, like CS auto, twist auto, twist auto, right? So it's like 2 out of 3 auto attacks are being twisted. And this is what it looks like, right? So this is what it looks like. Twist, CS, judge, twist, twist again a second time, and then CS again. It was a little bit late, but twist, judge, twist, CS again. So you're doing it twice. You're doing twist twice and then CS after. But what you're doing here is you're twisting every auto attack, which is losing you damage and causing your judgments are going to fall off because you're not Crusader striking enough. You need to do a Crusader strike like every 6 or 7 seconds on average, I guess. So I'm not sure what happens here, but you're twisting every single auto attack, not judging or using Crusader strike, and then you just stop attacking. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what happened here, but you stop attacking for like 10 seconds, then you start again, you twist. This might be too early. It's close, almost too early. So you're twisting every auto attack again. I mean, you need to be, every single time you go in for a twist and you're about to press command so that you can twist, you need to be checking for judgment and seeing if it's off cooldown. Every single time you're about to command, you want to judge first, right before you cast command. You want to judge blood, command, twist. Okay? So you could judge here right before this Seal of Command cast. You could have judged right here, and you would have just gained some damage for free. And if you had the Librum, the relic from Blood Furnace, you would have also had like 3% crit chance added to these next couple auto attacks. So you're losing a lot of damage from judgment, and you're losing a lot of damage from not Crusader striking. And your raid is losing a lot of mana because you're letting judgments drop. And then you have to rejudge Crusader here because you let it drop by, on purpose, kinda. I mean, it looks like it's on purpose. So then you're just twisting every auto attack, never judging. It's really awkward, honestly. So then you have to recast Seal of Crusader. This is a lost opportunity here because this auto attack you could have twisted, or Crusader striked, but instead you're stuck rejudging Crusader, and everybody in your raid is losing damage because you did that, because you went for like a selfish play to twist every auto attack and try to get more damage. It doesn't do more damage, it's just less anyway. So it seems like you kind of went for like a kind of a selfish play to try to get more damage out of it, but without realizing that you're actually doing less damage when you do that. You need to keep Crusader striking and judging. So yeah. So you Crusader strike here, good. You go into blood, which I guess you have to because you're in command. Not a big deal. Then you exorcism here. I'm not sure why you exorcismed here. You should have exorcismed back here after Crusader strike. You should have exorcismed back here before the auto attack. And then you judged after. Another weird play because you put command back up. You don't want to be putting command back up after you judge unless you're going into a twist. So you shouldn't have even judged here. Ideally, you would have had exorcism back here after Crusader strike, and then you would have had judge at the beginning of this auto attack up here, right? Judge here, and then command here, and then twist blood right here. And then you, for some reason, okay, so you twist into blood here, and then you Crusader Strike, and then you could have exorcismed here, but that's all right. Or consecrate. Then you judge, command, good, twist, good, Crusader Strike, good, exorcism, good. Like, this is exactly how you should be playing, right? This is ideal. You judge, you command, you twist, you CS, you exorcism, auto, and then you repeat. You're back at the judge. So then you judge, command, twist, CS, exorcism if you have it, consecrate if you don't, and if you have extra mana, auto attack, judge, should have judged here, went back into command, and then twisted this auto attack. For some reason you just auto attack in command. I'm not sure why. You could have twisted here, and then you could have Crusader Striked here. I don't know, maybe you got like a second lust or something, because it looks like you stopped Crusader Striking again. Yeah, you did get a second lust. You stopped Crusader Striking again, and that's really scuffed. I mean, really scuffed. You're twisting every auto attack, costing yourself damage, and you're costing the raid damage because you're letting judgments drop, and you're not even judging. You could be judging right here before you cast Seal of Command. Remember, judge is off the global cooldown, so if you cast judge, you can squeeze it in almost anywhere, as long as you're gonna cast a seal again afterwards, right? As long as you put a seal back up, which you're doing anyway because you're about to twist, you can judge anywhere. Like, you can physically fit it in anywhere. It's not that you should judge anywhere. You should be judging right here before command, before you go into a twist. That's where you should be judging. But like, even if you're lusted, you can always fit it in. You always have space for it because it's not on the global cooldown. So you could judge here, and then, you know, you Crusader Strike here instead of twist, and then over here you could judge again and twist, and then you Crusader Strike here again, and then the next one you probably wouldn't be able to judge, but that's okay. You could twist again, and then you're just kind of like, since you're lusted again, like I said, you want to be going back to this 2-3 triple rotation where you CS, twist, twist, right? So you, during lust, twist, twist, CS, twist, twist, CS. 2 out of 3 are twisted, okay? Twist, twist, CS. Instead of this right here, you would CS. Twist, twist, and then CS if you had another auto attack. And you want to judge anytime you're gonna twist and you're about to cast Seal of Command. You check the judgment cooldown and you check if it's ready, and if it's ready, you judge before you hit command. So I think that's gonna pretty much cover it for Thathia's logs. I think we've got the gist here of what's going wrong and how to fix it. I think that pretty much covers most of the issues we're having. As for people in the raid, you have like this Warlock, this Shadow Priest, and some of your other guildies are doing less damage than they could be doing. They could be doing a lot more damage and holding you back a little bit. You know, you would be able to do more. If you do more damage, everybody in the raid does damage, because it makes the kill faster, and when the kill is faster, everybody does more damage. So you have a couple people here holding you back, and honestly, you're kind of one of them. No offense or anything, because you're not doing a lot of damage at all, and you're kind of holding them back too. So hopefully this log review has kind of helped you figure out how you need to approach the rotation a little bit better, and what you're doing wrong in your rotation, and how to like address it and make it better and actually do some more damage. Like here, you judge Crusader, and then you auto without a seal up. Like right before you auto here, you should have put up Seal of Blood or Command, and then twisted. Like you can twist that first auto attack here, you can twist that. And then you have another auto attack with no seal up. Like you have no seal at all here. And then you put up Blood, and it's late, and so you can't twist. You could have done Command and then twisted. And then you judge right after your auto attack. You go into Command. It looks like your swings are so far apart here. I don't understand why they're so far apart. Why are your swings so far apart? 5 seconds here. This is Asgalore, so I don't know of anything on Asgalore that makes you swing slower. This is like a 3.6. This is like 7 seconds between auto attacks. I don't really know why you're auto attacking so far apart. It looks like it's just at the beginning there. Oh wait, we have another period here. Why are you not auto attacking at all here? Got 20 seconds, over 25 seconds with no, or 20 seconds with no auto attacks. And when you start auto attacking again, you don't have a seal up. That's really weird. I don't know why you stopped here. I don't think there's any way you pulled threat. I mean, yeah, this is kind of scuffed. Then you have a couple autos here where you don't do anything. Like, you just ride Blood and you don't even Crusader Strike. I'm not sure why you're doing that. You could have Crusader Striked here. You could have twisted here. You could have twisted here. I don't know why. You judge and then you command like you're going to go into a twist, but then you don't actually twist. I'm not sure why. And then you exorcism, but then you never attack again. I don't know why you have this huge gap in between your attacks. Like, what is that? I don't know what your strat is on this fight, but it looks like you're doing something weird. Like you're either stopping at maybe you're getting silenced and you stop attacking for some reason, but you shouldn't stop attacking. You should keep attacking. And then you bubbled here. Looks like you probably got Doom and bubbled it, thinking you could bubble it off, and it didn't work and you died. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, at this level of play, I mean, okay, so Thatia, we'll go over the summary again. You want to always judge before you seal up command when you're twisting, not after you Crusader Strike. You want to make sure Blood is up for every single auto attack, not just twists. And then you want to Crusader Strike more. The normal rotation goes back and forth between twist and CS. Like when you don't have Bloodlust, you're just going back and forth between twist and Crusader Strike. You're going to twist with an auto attack, then you're going to Crusader Strike with an auto attack, and you have a little bit of room there for an exorcism after the Crusader Strike. You're not Crusader Striking enough during Bloodlust. All you're doing is twisting over and over again, and you're letting judgments drop, and you're costing yourself damage. Number 4, you're letting judgments drop. Okay, I already said that. Number 5, you're going from trying to twist every auto attack. And this is costing you not only damage, but mana. And that's a big deal on a lot of fights that are longer. So, now your guild's debuff uptime looks pretty decent. I would say that there's no issue there. Although you might want to double check and make sure that Wind Fury has a good uptime and isn't dropping. Because you do have a couple gaps there where you don't have any Wind Fury attacks. So you want to make sure that your Enhancement Shaman is keeping Wind Fury up and Totem Twisting properly. Now, what I'm going to recommend for somebody that's, when I look at your log and I see like how you're doing the rotation, I think that you would benefit most from watching a couple of my videos on the rotation. It seems to me like you need a little bit more of a deeper understanding of how we prioritize the rotation. So I have two videos here. One is called, obviously I have my steel twisting guide, right? I have my steel twisting guide. That's a great one. But it is an hour long and it's very in depth, and not all of it is relevant to your situation. What I would recommend watching the most is this one, the priority based rotation. This video is going to show you like how to prioritize your rotation, right? It's going to go through the rotation and tell you like, when I'm doing my rotation, what am I prioritizing? What am I thinking about? What am I looking at about next? How am I thinking? Like I have a part here where I slow down my rotation and I explain my thought process after every single attack, where I'm looking on my screen and what I'm thinking about in terms of like my next attack. So this is a great video on that'll just help you with coming up with your rotation. What is the best rotation for me to do at any given time? What is the logic in the priority list that I can follow that will always give me the best rotation? This video will cover that. And then you also have this video that I showed off a couple times this stream, which is advanced twisting mechanics. This one goes through all the rotations and basically just shows off how every different rotation is done and what weapon speeds they go at. Now this video isn't super necessary, but it does help just to have an example of every rotation that you can watch, and you can be like, oh, this is how the rotation is supposed to be done. I'll watch this video so I can get a better understanding of it. Now, this weak aura is in the description of that video, advanced twisting mechanics. This weak aura is going to tell you what rotation to do all the time. So any given time, this rotation or this weak aura is going to tell you exactly what rotation to do, and it's going to put it on the screen for you to see, so you know exactly what to do with your rotation. Now it takes a little bit of practice to be able to read this weak aura and interpret it and like change your rotation to match it, but it's really good, especially if you are reviewing your own like videos. Like if you record yourself playing the game, it's really good to have this weak aura, because you'll be able to see, did I do the right rotation? Did I do the rotation it told me to do? Now, there are some like attack speeds, like 2.7, where you're not exactly in one rotation. You're kind of going back and forth between like the normal rotation and the lust rotation. You're like going back and forth. So like that's kind of something that you got to understand, and that is also described in the description here. But for the most part, this weak aura will help you a lot in figuring out like what rotations should I be doing at my attack speed right now. So I recommend getting this weak aura, watching this video, advanced steel twisting mechanics, and this video, the priority based rotation. And I think you do that stuff and you remember the summary I gave you of your logs, and I think you'll be in a good spot, Thatia, to pump some damage. So also remember that you need to change some of your gear. You've got too much hit rating. You can drop 3% hit and get some more stats. You need to get the Libram, and you know you have a couple people in your guild holding you back. in terms of the damage that they did. Like, you know, your Shadow Priest, this Warlock, some other people are they're doing okay, but not great. A lot of these people, like, you know, you would be doing more damage if they were too. But when I see a 9, for, like, obviously the biggest thing for you is going to be to work on your personal play. I'm not sure why you have these big open windows with no you have these big open windows with no auto attacks. I'm not sure what that is all about. I would have to see a video to know. Like, you have this big gap here with nothing going on here, a big gap here with nothing going on. Like, this is really detrimental to your parse, and I don't know what's going on here. Only you know. So, you know, obviously you need to keep attacking if you want to parse. So, if you have any questions about this log review, Thatia, you gotta reach out to me. If you guys have any questions watching at home, you can ask in the comments down below. I think that's gonna wrap it up. I think we've covered the 2 log reviews we need to get done today. I have another log review coming up for one of my patrons, Kazus, but we're waiting for him to get some new logs in. I think, let me double check. Yeah, okay, so Kazus wanted me to wait until he got some logs with his new guild. So he's got a couple logs with his new guild coming. He said they're going to be better, so he wants me to review those instead. So we'll be doing another log review later this week. But if you stuck with me this far, thanks for watching, guys. I hope that somebody out there learns something from this log review. I hope this helps people improve. And if you have any questions, go ahead and hit them down below. And if you want your logs reviewed, go ahead and subscribe to my Patreon. $10 a month and you get a log review. And that's really all there is to say. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. So this is February 16th, so this is a week ago. Let's take a peek. Start with High Warlord Nagentis.
Sick twists.
Thanks for the follow, Chillbane. Chillblane. Thanks for the follow, bro. Welcome to the club. Okay, so oh, that's you, Thought. Yeah, okay. Sounds good, sounds good. Hold on, having internet issues for a sec. Just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm having a couple download, or I'm having a couple issues real quick with the internet, so just give me 1 sec. Alright, should be better now. Okay. So, take a look at High Warlord Nagentis. Looks like most of your raids doing pretty decent damage. 3-minute long fight. I think my fastest is like 2 minutes. 142. So, about a minute and 20 seconds added on. So, you know, not a terrible kill time. Could be faster, could also be a lot slower, so it's probably average kill time. Shadow Priest is doing like no damage at all, and so is this Feral Druid. Both Feral Druids and the Rogue, and this one lock. This guy isn't doing very much damage either. So those people still kind of holding the raid back to a degree. Debuff uptime, well, I think looks pretty good. Curse of Wreck, Elements, Fairy Fire. Exposed Armor fell off at the end. Not good, not good. I mean, for the most part, pretty good. Just the Rogue letting Exposed Armor drop at the end is not cool. So, debuff uptime looks pretty decent. Let's see casts. So, Crusader Strike. Looks like you got kind of a low cast per minute, but I think you might have died here, if I'm not mistaken, and that's why. So let's take a look at the cast timeline. Start out with Crusader, good. Judge, good. Command, good. Where's melee at? You should melee after you get a seal up. So you should Crusader, and then you judge the Crusader while the tank is getting threat. Judging Crusader is only like 100 threat, so you're never going to pull aggro by judging Crusader. Just make sure you are out of melee range when you do it, or turned around so you can't melee. And you judge like while the tank is setting up threat, so you can get it done ahead of time. And then you can command before you start attacking and hit stop attack. And then you can go in and start with an instant twist. Or you could just command before the auto attack here, and then CS and auto attack as the first thing you do. So you'll like judge command or judge Crusader, and then put up command, and you still haven't attacked yet, and then you just Crusader Strike and start attacking, and then twist like you did here. So this, okay, 0.3 second, pretty good. You hit that twist. Both of those openers, whether you twist on the first attack or Crusader Strike on the first attack and then twist after, either one, they do about the same damage. Not a big deal. So you twist, and then you have an auto attack here where you don't do anything. You could have, you CS'd here, and then, like, so you put command up after this first auto attack, and then you Crusader Striked, and then you twisted, which is fine because you were able to fit them both in the same auto attack, which you can't normally do. So you don't have Crusader Strike on this auto attack. You should twist. So you twisted at the end here. You don't have Crusader Strike. So here you would want to see, you don't have Judge until about 11 seconds. Or I guess 13.5 seconds, I guess. So that's over here. So on this auto attack, between these two auto attacks here, you should have twisted. You can't judge, so you just skip the judge. Command, twist blood, and then, so you would have twisted blood here, and then you still CS right here. And then you judge after CS, but you shouldn't have done that. You should have just done an exorcism or a consecrate. After you Crusader Strike, you don't judge. You just either consecrate, exorcism, or do nothing. And then auto attack. You actually twisted here, and I'm not, let's see, 0.5, 3.5-ish, interesting. How did you twist here? I guess because your Crusader Strike was so early, probably. Oh, because you didn't come out of a twist. Yeah, that's why. Okay, so you Crusader Striked, you judged, you commanded, you twisted. You should have just twisted here on this auto, and then Crusader Striked, exorcism, and then go into another twist over here. So it's like twist, CS, twist, CS, twist, CS, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then you're judging before the twist, and you're judging after the Crusader Strike, or I'm sorry, exorcism after the Crusader Strike, and judge before the twist. So in between these two autos, you CS, 13.1, 19.1, so that's like right on time. It is a little bit late, so what you might want to do here is because this Crusader Strike is late, it's like almost at the end of the auto attack. The next time you come around to your Crusader Strike, you'll just twist twice instead of once before you Crusader Strike, because your Crusader Strike is kind of drifting to the end of your auto attack, right? So before it drifts too far, you just fix it by twisting 2 times in a row instead of once in between. So you would do like, you'd be like, oh, my Crusader Strike is late here. It's drifting, right? And then you'd be like, all right, I'll twist here and I'll twist here, and then I'll come back in CS. But it's not really drifting that bad here. That's just an example of what you might do if it was. Because it looks like you're still at a 3.6 swing speed or so. Actually, this one 3.7, 3.8-ish. Okay. .65. Looks like, yeah, you have a couple haste effects, so you'd be like 3.65 there. Okay, so after you CS here, you judged. I'm not sure why. I mean, you should. This is good, but you should have done it earlier back here. And I think the reason why it's late is partially because you Crusader Strike late, but you had time to do it up here. So the global cooldown is like 1.5 seconds. This is 19.1. You could have judged and done command at 20.6, 20.65. So that's like right here. So like right here, you would judge and command instead of doing it all. Like, this is late, you should have done it here. And then twisted blood here. Now because you were late on these two, you weren't able to twist on that. Oh, by the way, I think I told you that you were casting rank 6 command by accident. I meant that was actually the other guy whose log I reviewed. The other guy, the martyr, that was actually him. So sorry about that. I got you mixed up. But yeah. So yeah, torch is like 3.68 when you have no haste effects because it has haste on it. So. But I still do recommend not using a judgment macro. You don't want to use a judgment macro, in my opinion. Like, either way. So here, like I said, you could have done this earlier and still fit in a twist. CS 19.1, 25.1, so that's right on time. You could have done. I'm not sure why you did Seal of the Martyr here. I guess because you're still stuck in command from this, kind of like you were too late to twist. Maybe that's why you went to Martyr here. But I mean, I guess that's okay because you're trying to fix your error of being in command. So you go Crusader Strike, Martyr, Auto, Command. These go at the same time. Oh, I guess you twisted it. That's right. Okay, you twisted it. No, that's perfect. That's what you should have done. That's a good. I mean, that was good. That's good. It's a good recovery. I just didn't realize it was a twist at first. So you could have twisted here again, I do believe. This is 27.172. You can't CS because you just did. You could have twisted here. You wouldn't have had judgment, but you could have just twisted, like you could have done command here-ish, and then blood here, or here, I guess. And you could have twisted this auto attack still. Instead, you ended up autoing with command, and judging, it looks like you judged right before the auto attack, so you didn't actually have a seal up for this auto attack. So that cost you some damage there. And so you're in command, and CS is up, but you're in command, so you're thinking, I guess I can twist. So you twist here, which is in and of itself isn't bad. And then you CS, and then you could exorcism here, although it's High Warlord Nagentis, so you could consecrate instead. I mean, and he actually does a lot of raid damage, so you can pretty much do a lot of consecrates on that fight. because you always have a lot of mana. And then do you have Bloodlust? No, you don't. You don't ever get Bloodlust this whole fight. Okay. So you Crusader Strike. Like, I'm just gonna show you the rotation. Really slow, and you can and I'll explain to you where you're going wrong. So this is the normal rotation where you have a higher speed than 2.8, and like I said, there's a weak aura down here in the description, 1.6 rotation twister, and you can download this weak aura and it'll tell you what rotation you're supposed to be doing at any time. So this is the rotation you do when you are like normal speeds without Bloodlust. If you're above 2.8, I think we actually dropped this down to like 2.6 or 2.7. I probably have that in the description. 2.6, yeah, so it's 2.6 and above now. Anytime you're above 2.6, and there's weak auras you can get that'll show you your attack speed. Anytime you're above 2.6, you're going to be doing this like what we call the normal rotation, and that's this, which is CS twist back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then when I show you the rotations in this video, I don't like write the judge or the filler like a consecrate in here, because it depends like if you're going to have them on cooldown or not, and it like varies a lot between the rotations. So I'll go over that at the end, like how to think about putting your fillers and judges in there. Alright, sorry, it's like playing really slowly. So I'm starting with a twist. Okay, I'm twisting here. I'm in command. I'm going to twist at the end of this attack. CS is about to come off cooldown. So I twist. And then the first thing I want to do as soon as this global cooldown's done is I want to CS. So I CS. And now I have I just Crusader Striked. I don't have time left in my swing to twist. So I want to filler. Consecrate, Exorcism, one of those two. Right? I have both. Boss is not a demon, so we're going to consecrate. So as soon as I'm going to consecrate, auto attack with blood up, judge, because I don't have Crusader Strike, so I'm twisting, right? Crusader Strike's not off cooldown, so the first thing I want to do is twist. And every time you twist, right before you put command up, you want to judge. So I'm going to judge here. Boom, I judge, I put command up, and then I wait till the end and twist. And that's the rotation, and then you just repeat. Now I'm going to Crusader Strike again and start from the front. Crusader Strike again. Now I'm going to look to consecrate. It's really close because consecrate's just barely coming off cooldown, but I have enough time to do it. So I consecrate, and this white bar here, this little white bar, is the last moment that you can press consecrate or exorcism and still twist. So I consecrate, I look to judge, but I don't have enough time to judge. So I skip the judge and I put up command and I twist. You're not always going to be able to judge, so when you don't have judge, you just skip it and you twist anyway. So now I'm going to twist, and then we're back to the start of the rotation again, and CS is what I would do next. So we'll go over that one more time. You're going back and forth between CS and twist. And you're sprinkling judge and filler like consecrate in between. So we're starting with a twist. We twist. Boom, there it is. And then we hit Crusader Strike. And now we have a little bit of time left at the end of our auto attack. We don't have enough time to twist, but we have enough time at the end of our auto attack to squeeze in a little consecrate. So we're going to do that. So as soon as I hit Crusader Strike, the first thing I'm looking at, unless I have Bloodlust, if I don't have Bloodlust, the first thing I'm looking at is Can I consecrate or can I exorcism? I just hit Crusader Strike. Do I have time to hit consecrate or exorcism? And are they off cooldown? Okay, and I do have time, so I consecrate. I auto the boss in blood, and then I judge, and I get ready to twist. Every time you do a twist, right before you do a twist, you're looking at judge, seeing is it off cooldown. If it is, you cast it and then start twisting. If it's not off cooldown, you skip it. So we're gonna go twist now. We twist. Crusader Strike's just coming off cooldown now. And we're gonna Crusader Strike as soon as we're able to. Now we're gonna consecrate again because we have a little bit of time here to consecrate, but we don't have enough time to twist. You'll never be able to Crusader Strike and twist in the same auto attack under normal circumstances. So I'm gonna consecrate again. I'm autoing, I just autoed in blood. Now I'm looking for a judge, but I just barely don't have enough time. I probably technically do have enough time, but I'm playing it safe here. I don't want to be too late and mess up my twist. So I'm just gonna skip it and go for the twist because I think it could be too late. So I go for the twist here, and then boom, we twist. And we're going to restart the rotation from the top with a Crusader Strike. And that's the rotation. You just keep repeating that over and over and over again. Now this is the rotation that you're most of the time going to be using during Lust, right? So most of the time when you're lusting, you're down just a little bit above 2.0. Okay, so if you have Lust in drums, this is 2.0 to 2.8. Okay, or actually it's 2.0 to 2.6, and the weak aura actually will show you that. This is just I made this video a while back when we still thought it was a little bit higher. So, but I'll show you an example of that now. Now this is if you don't have DST, which you don't. This is pretty much what you're going to use anytime you have Bloodlust and a haste potion. So you want to pop wings, trinkets, and haste potion all at the same time, and when you do that, you're going to use this rotation. You might even be using this rotation outside of haste potion, just with Lust. I'm pretty sure you do use this. I mean, I know you do. You use this rotation as well outside of haste potion when you're just with Bloodlust, but you don't do it every single time. You do it a couple times, and then you do the normal rotation, and then you kind of go back and forth, if that makes sense. Anyways, so this is the 2-3 rotation, the triple rotation. So you're going to auto attack. Now I'm looking for a judge or a C. I'm looking for a twist or a CS, right? Now CS is off cooldown, or it's about to be. So I think I go for the CS here. However, if it wasn't, I would go for the judge and go for a twist. So you can think of Crusader Strike as like the start point for the rotation. Everything starts with CS and repeats from there. So Crusader Strike, actually we don't Crusader Strike. We went for the twist. So we didn't have enough. Here, I'll go back. We didn't have enough time to judge, so we skipped the judge. We actually could have Crusader Striked there, but we decided not to, and that's a mistake on our part. We could have Crusader Striked here, but instead we go for the twist, which is fine. It's just a little bit of a misplay. So we don't have time for the judge. We're approaching the red bar here. We don't have time to judge, so we skip it. We go command, and then we twist. Okay, and now we're going to CS. We have CS ready. We're CSing. And now we have a window of time here at the end of CS, after CS. But it's not enough time to like consecrate or exorcism because we have Bloodlust and haste potion. It's not enough time to do any of those filler spells like consecrate or exorcism. So we're going to skip it. We auto attack first, and then we judge first thing. We put up command. We get ready to twist. So we CS'd, and now we're going into our first twist. So we twist once, Now if you notice, CS is still not off cooldown because we're lusted. So the next thing we're doing is we're twisting again. No judge, we just twist. We don't have judge off cooldown, so we're not even going for it. We're just twisting. We twist the second time. Now CS is back off cooldown, so we CS. It was a little bit late, and that's a mistake. You want to get it in as soon as you possibly can. So we CS, we start the rotation over again. We don't have enough time to judge. Judge is not off cooldown yet, but we are going into a twist. So we CS'd again, now we're twisting again, and then we're going to twist a second time. Okay, we judge, and we twist a second time. We still don't have Crusader Strike, so we're twisting a second time. So boom, now we're twisting again. And we CS, and we start from the top. And that's like the lust rotation. When you have bloodlust, that's what you're going to do. There's a lot of different rotations, but that's pretty much all you need to know is those two. That'll cover you for most of the game. There are some other rotations that you can do when you get faster and faster, like haste, and you have DST, but those are like a little bit more complicated and not really necessary right now for you, because you don't have to know them yet. You don't have to do them ever. So those are the two rotations. You have the bloodlust one, triple rotation, or 2-3. From like anytime you're bloodlusted, and that's CS. Like every comma is like an auto attack, right? So it's like you CS, auto attack, you twist, auto attack, and you twist again, auto attack, and then you go back and you start at the beginning, okay? And it's not like written here, but it's just kind of a given that anytime you're twisting, you're gonna check if your judgment is off cooldown right before you start the twist. And then the normal rotation, or the 1-2 rotation, this is the one that you do anytime you're not bloodlusted, is you just CS, auto attack, twist, auto attack, CS, auto attack, twist, auto attack. And like I said again, it's not written here, but before the twist, every single time you're about to go into command for the twist, you're checking that judge cooldown to see if it's off cooldown, if you can use it right before you go into command for the twist. And every time you Crusader Strike, after that Crusader Strike, you're checking your Consecrate or Exorcism. Do you have time to use them? And if you do, are they off cooldown? And if they are, you use them right after your Crusader Strike. So like if you include Judgment and Consecrate, this rotation looks like Crusader Strike. I guess I'll do the autos too. So the first thing you would do is auto, like from the last rotation, auto, and then Crusader Strike, and then Exorcism, and then auto attack with blood up, and then judge, and then seal of command, and then twist blood, and then auto attack again with the twist. Now this is just a way easier way to write this out. Every word is like one auto attack, so if it says CS, then it's like that auto attack you CS, and then the next auto attack you twist, and then the next auto attack you CS, and then the next auto attack you twist, and you keep bouncing back and forth. That's kind of like how we do the notation for these rotations. And then 2-3, the triple rotation, is obviously the same. It's just you twist twice in a row instead of once, and before you go back to CS. So it's like CS, auto, twist, auto, twist, auto, CS, auto, and then, you know, every single rotation, you're twisting 2 out of 3 auto attacks. You know, CS twist, twist, CS twist, twist. Every time you're twisting, right at the beginning of that twist, you're checking for judgment. Is it off cooldown? If it is, use it right before you cast command. CS, every time you CS, you're checking afterwards, do I have time to Exorcism or Consecrate? Are they off cooldown? But you're probably never going to have time, because this is usually for Bloodlust, and if you're Bloodlusted, you're probably not ever going to have time to hit like Consecrate or Exorcism. So that's the 2 main rotations that you're going to need to know. The other ones you don't need to know unless you get DST or a bunch of haste further down the line in like Sunwell. So it's just those 2 rotations that you got to practice. Once again, you can come here to these videos and you can slow it down and watch it again yourself. You can take this Twitch video, this Twitch VOD, and rewatch it and have me explain it to you again and again if you need to get a refresher or whatever. That should be good to cover you in terms of the rotation. Now what you're doing wrong is you were twisting like every auto attack during Lust on the Hydra one that I looked at, or like here, right? You're Crusader striking and then you're hitting a seal afterwards to fix a mistake where you judged too late back here and put command up when you should have just judged command back down here and put command up down here, and then you twisted CS, and then you have like a consecrate here, and then this auto attack, then you can judge command and twist again, instead of like having these auto attacks that you could have twisted but they aren't twists because you judge instead, which is you like judge late instead for some reason. Like here, this is the proper twist, right? Is you judge early, you go into command, and then you twist into blood. That's like what the proper twist looks like because you're doing this stuff early. Give yourself time to twist, and then you CS. This is like the perfect rotation here. This is like what you want to be doing, right? Like you auto, you judge, you command, you blood, you auto again, your CS, then here you have a chance to consecrate or exorcism if you want. Okay, if you have mana, if they're off cooldown, whatever. Before this auto attack, you exorcism or consecrate. Between this auto and this auto, all the stuff right here, this is the perfect normal rotation, like that I just showed you. This is the perfect like 1-2 rotation, because you twist once and you CS once, and then you would repeat it, which you do here. You judge, or you do judge, command, blood, and you go back into a twist, and then here you should have CS'd earlier. Instead of hitting wings here, you should have CS'd earlier, because you can wings and then CS right away. Like there's no global cooldown. You can do wings and CS like right away at the same time. So this should be like together basically. But like this is the right rotation. You got it right here, because you're going twist, CS, twist, CS, twist, CS, back and forth, right? Like you got it right here. And then like here you have like an auto attack here where you could have twisted, but you didn't have the opportunity to, because back here you did the judge seal a command thing too late again. And so after your Crusader strike, you're like, oh, I'm in command, I should be in blood, and you switch to blood, and it costs you the opportunity to twist right here. I mean, you still could have twisted here actually, but you're kind of this is like something I've seen a couple times, is like you're judging late and commanding late, and then you're like stuck, not able to twist. You're stuck unable to twist basically, and then you died, so there's not really much else to look at. But do you think that's like, do you think you understand it a little bit better now, or you think that you're like getting the hang of it, or does that about, you know, you kind of understand what I'm talking about now in terms of the rotation? Like right here you had it perfect. How can you practice the rotation? There's a couple things you can do. I mean, you can go to a heroic dungeon and just practice on the bosses. You can go to the Blasted Lands. In the Blasted Lands, there are these mobs that never die, and you can just hit them forever and practice on them. There is, in Dire Maul North, there's mobs in there that never die that you can practice on. There's a lot of ways to practice. If the PTR ever goes up, you could practice on them as well. If you want to practice the 2-3 rotation, you probably need a Bloodlust from a Shaman. Alright, well, do you think you have like the hang of it, and you think you know what you need to do. I mean, like here you did it properly here, right? You did twist, CS, twist, CS. Although this one you were too late on the twist. But like, so you think you got the hang of it now? All right. Well, if you have any questions, you know, just send me a message and we'll talk. Okay. So again, appreciate your patronage, and glad I could help you. You know, improve a little bit. You'll be pumping in no time, man. So just, you know, hit me up if you have any questions. I actually gotta get to bed pretty soon, and my throat's a little bit sore, so I'm gonna stop talking now. So I'll catch you around, man. Good luck.
This show
Good luck
was
out
brought
there.
to you by Light Club,
Hit me up.
where monkeys go to church.